What is up, my core of knights? It is I, your local legend, the legendary Boogiieeknight, and tonight we're back with some more Raging Loop. And last time we played this, we got to the damn village, and well, shit was going down. They told me that the wolf was coming, and well, I guess the wolf is coming. As always, this is mature content, not suitable for children under a certain age, and I hope you guys are all enjoying this late night with Boogiieeknight, and especially Raging Loop, because I'm having a fantastic fucking time with it. Let's see, what did we do last time? Yes, we found out a couple of more secrets. We found out that Rikaku over here knew more than she was letting on, and now that I'm a part of the village, she's telling me things that I did not know before. And also, it's kind of more confusing now, actually. Now I really think about it. But without further ado, it is time to boogie. So let's get into it. Also, if you're on YouTube, please. Well, I can't say what I usually say, can I? Press red button that has scribbles on it that let you know whether I'm playing game or not. Question mark? I don't know what to tell you anymore. Please become a core of Knight tonight, and if you're on Twitch or D Live, what's up everybody over there, please subscribe. There you go, and do that on YouTube as well. I'm not gonna say what to do. See, that's how I'm getting around it. Big brain, big penis brain. All right, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and get into it now. Where the figgity fuck was I? I think I was 5-ish. What's up, everybody out there in chat? Load thy game. Alright. That was why I returned to the plaza. It was still really empty, and the two journalists were probably working. This was my chance. I appreciate the left back wheel on... No, I approached the left back wheel on Hashimoto Shi's van. Reaching into my bag, I pulled out the hammer and nails I brought. I placed the tip of the nail against the tire and hammered it in. You could hear the sound of the air leaving. That had to be good enough. I then did the same to the other rear tire, as well as one in the front. Wait, but couldn't he have just... I guess they wouldn't have left any other way. So I guess he has to kind of do that. There. After that, I added a random array of extra nails around those to make it look like a trap or something had been ran over in the grass. They couldn't leave now. I already knew they didn't have anything that could fix the tires, and they couldn't get in touch with any road service until the mist passed. If someone in Kamafujushi came to pick them up and they left without their car, they would have been fine too. Not that I expected anyone to come. Now I just had to convince them that they had to stay here. It was a really haphazard plan. It seemed like the locals trapped them on purpose. I'd have to think of something to say about that. Anyway, I did what I could for them. Now I just had to wait and... Oh God, Rikaku. My love interest. Oh yeah, I got a thing for Rikaku. I'm sorry, that was terrible. I shouldn't have said that. I love Matsu. She's so ditzy. Masashi-sama. Whoa, hey. My heart almost burst out of my chest. What's the matter, Rikaku-san? Oh, that name again. I'm sorry. What's wrong, Matsu-san? I'm hungry, so I came to eat lunch. Gohan is lunch. I don't know why they didn't say lunch. Just say eat. that, huh? Well, I was pretty hungry myself, too. Don't eat there. Wait, there was something more important to worry about. Had she seen me? This is a large car. It is. What the hell was with this pressure? Was it some kind of Kamafujushi head superpower? Was she waiting for me to confess or something? I had no choice but to think up a new lie. But looking at her red eyes made me feel like she'd seen through my bullshit I spun. Crap. Maybe I should just come clean in it. I'm hungry. What do you want me to... Are you a cat? Is she a cat? Was she actually not thinking anything? What do you think I was doing here? Huh? Searching for woodlice? Did she think I was think I was as old as Miku? No, look here, it's flat. Oh dear. See, it's got this inside. So long and thick. Whoa. Yeah. I'm gonna go drink a beer and chop some wood after this. And look how deep this is. Yes, look how deep this is, girl. Oh dear. How forceful. The brown-haired man is taking Amatsu in broad daylight. Man, what the hell was she? She appears this time around. What the? Okay, all right. Yeah, I couldn't lie. This conversation was pretty messed up, but that's an outrageous misunderstanding. I'll go call for the journalists. What? You gotta be kidding me. Sako-san was completely perplexed. Now this is troubling. I still couldn't read his expression, but I could totally sympathize with someone being basically stranded in a place like this. How unfortunate. They weren't suspicious of me, so I just acted like an innocent, sympathetic bystander. Oh, the heartache. We were supposed to head back tonight. What are we gonna do? Do you have any plans? I'm fine, but what about you? My daughter's birthday is close, but Oh, Nami. Oh, the heartache. I had no idea he had a daughter, or was married. For that matter, the fact that it came as a surprise just made my pain worse. But I shouldn't feel guilty about this. If I had just ignored them, they'd have been torn apart by a monster. Oh my. What do we do? Yamizu has no cars in the first place. Nosato-sama might have something useful. Those words made me twitch. These tires are special, so that would be difficult. We do have a single spare, but let's contact road service. Orbe, may we use your phone? Oh, yes. Of course, right away. They all returned to the dining hall. I have a bad feeling about this. I was left alone with a peculiar duo, but then we were joined by a muscly silhouette who came from the fields. Well, what are you doing, Oba-chan? Matsu? And, who are you? This is Haraki Fusashi-sama. She went out of her way to introduce me, though. She still couldn't leave off the sama.
今度こっちに越してくることになったものです。どうかよろしくお願いします。
Oh, we get along.
ああ、例の。室田君質問だ。よろしく。
I'm Takumi Muro.
上藤吉の門には見えないが。
You don't look like you're from Kabufujushi. An outsider, then. That's rare. Sorry you ended up here. They really had to do something about their habit of showing sympathy for anyone who came here.
はい。Yes,
I came here from the city. I'm sorry. I'm so suspicious and flashy. I'll re-dye my hair. Oh, all right. That'd be good. She hates that sort of thing. I don't really care, though. I care more about something else. That's it? If you're useful in the field, like Kamafujushi, Yasamizu doesn't abandon its people. But we don't have room for those who can't earn that keep. While mentoring Kamafujushi, he glanced at Amatsu. Well, you look like you have the build for it. You can start by mowing the grass around the upper fields. But I was told to work at the dining hall. What? You're working with Keoi-san. Crap, I messed up. Takumi. Yeah, fine, man. Just tell her how you feel. What do you mean? I'm not thinking anything. That's outrageous. But she supports 2 grown sons and feeds everyone with her frail arms. I'm gonna kill any guy that tries to take advantage of her. That was plenty outrageous. Hey, what do you do to get her to take spill it? It took a lot of effort to keep myself from lying and fueling the fire. Hagachi-san from Kamafujushi, right? He sent me here to work with her. Takumi became apathetic. I guess that's fine then. I'll try to become able to work outside too if you want. That's great and all, but for now, just watch. If we made you do too much, they might get on us, on our cases about it. Huh? They care that much? They care about what kind of work people do here? They don't. They just want to be sure we listen to them. So, what are you all up to? Where's Keoi-san? The jealous car broke, so she went to make a call. That's pretty bad. Can they leave? It's best to assume they won't have it fixed today. Awful. Just awful. This was getting nowhere. Do you have any open rooms? That house was the only one I could give. Matsu, you gave Jin-san's house to him? Yes. Houses die if people do not live in them. Take care of that house, will you? A good person used to live there. Of course. Don't you dare use it as a place where you take advantage of Amatsu-sama. That cannot happen to her. You understand? What tore like that? It's a complete misunderstanding, but it seems to keep being taken as fact. I'd appreciate it if it wasn't. We we went
どう
off
するんです
on a tangent. What do we do? I'd have liked it if the newbie didn't have to be... I'd have liked it if the newbie didn't have to be the one making this conversation progress.
まあ正直
I really
あんま
don't
よそ
I
者を
really don't
休
think
み
it's
ず
a
に
good
止める
if
のは
outsiders
お
stay
互いの
Yamazu
ために
either.
ならねえとは思
She'd
って
like
る
it.
けどばあちゃん空いてる小屋とか
Bachan, you got any free houses?
メイコちゃんに出した
The
の
one
が
I gave
最後
Mako-chan was the last one. The
他は
rest had
みんな
holes or didn't have
穴開いた
walls.
り壁抜け
Can't
た
even
り
shelter in those.
物意味もできやせんわよ
There was the rooms at the dorm. Oh.
ちえみネ
You
ズミじゃ
sure
ねえ
slept
か
for a
お
long...
やっさんの手伝いしてやってく
Wait,
れよ
you sure slept for long? That's a little weird to say. Go help out the old man.
あーごめんごめん
Go
ちょ
ahead.
っと向こうで寝坊
Oh,
の習慣
sorry.
ついちゃってさ
I got in a habit of sleeping in while I was away.
ところでタイバーちゃん
By the way,
部屋だったら
Papa-chan,
寮の部屋が
there's
一
one
つ
free
空いて
room
ま
in
す
the
けど
dorm.
ちいちゃんね知っとるでし
Sure,
ょ
that place was
あ
built
そこ
by
は
Yamazu.
昔吉光さんが4家の
They
南
worked
様
hard
に
negotiating
か
with
け
the
よ
four
うって
families
で
to
き
get
た
it
場所よ
built.
先のあ
They
る子
said
ら
he
だ
wanted
け
to
で
at
上藤
at
吉
least the children here to live in a nice place closer to
それ
Kamafujushi.
で坂を
That's
コン
why
ク
he
リ
had
ート
the
で階
concrete
段に
stairs
して
built in the hill and
あ
she started talking
ー
about the
昔
past again.
話始まっちゃった
まあ不
Well,
採だっけか
Versace,
休み
you
ず
see
って
what
の
kind
は
of
なん
place
となく
Yamazu
こんな
is.
場所だよ
I already know.
なんつうか
Anyway,
治るといいな
I hope they can fix the car. This was bad. Just as I expected, the road service would take a long time to get here. They'd be here sometime in the middle of the night. If they tried to come right away, the mountain road was even more dangerous at night. So they agreed on the service coming early in the morning, which led us back to the talks about where they would stay. Though by the time the discussion was over, Yamawaki-san, who was done talking, had left. She surely gave us outsiders the cold shoulder, huh? Takumi-san tried suggesting that they stay in their van, and I was surprised to hear they were receptive to the idea. Them being a man and woman was one thing, but I was more concerned if the van had enough space for someone that huge and other person to lie down. Still, it looked like they were about to agree to just leave it at that, but that was no good. They wouldn't survive the night like that. So, for the only people I hadn't met were the students who were in school, Kanzo Makashima-san, who was out hunting since morning, and the old man who cried wolf. Since I'd met just about everyone, I chose to take my leave. It wouldn't have been natural if I tried to talk them out of that. I had to get places for them, but my only option was one I didn't have much faith in. Anyway, doorbell.
Oh,
you're the new one. What do you want?
実はちょっと長者でらっしゃる野里さんに伺
There's
い
a
たいこと
problem
が
that I think only a village head can solve.
いい心がけだが
Oh, while I don't mind the sentiment, you can knock off the awkward flattery. Why not act more like yourself? Was my politeness that insincere?
おみそれしました
Sorry.
それで
Now about what I came
要
here
件が
for.
近々霧が出
Is
る
it
とい
true
うの
that
は
the mists
本当なのでしょ
The
うか
mists are coming soon? The effect my words had on Kanosuke's sheet was impressive. He tried to act calm, but his wandering eyes made it clear he wasn't.
なんだそれ
What? Who told you about that? Who mentioned that superstition to you? Right, when you just got here?
上松さんが話してくださいました
He fell silent. The guy was easy to read.
霧がうんぬん言ったのは他の
Someone
方で
else
す
told me about the mists
僕は樋口
themselves,
昌
though.
司さんとい
The
う方
one
に
who
勧めら
sent
れ
me
て
here
ここに
was
来たんですが
Shoji Hagachi-san.
なんだ少女
Oh,
が
Shoji.
私の一つ
He's
下だ
one year younger than me.
奴が
What
ど
did
う
he
した
say?
いえ
I
聞き
might
間
have
違いかもし
misheard
れ
it,
ません
but
が
he said that
時期
there
に
might
霧が出る
be
かもとおっ
mists.
しゃっていたような気がするのですが
There was no truth to my words, but they would become true when the mist came.
だけど植松さんがさっき霧が出たらいろいろしなきゃならないっておっしゃってて、
must be done if the mists come.
今安水で車がパンクし
There are
て
people who are
足
stuck
止めを
here
食らってる人
because
た
their
ちと
van
か
is flat
ど
tire.
うする
I'm
のかな
wondering
と
what
思
they
いま
should
して
do.
何
Oh.
そんなことになってい
Well,
る
that's news to me. How troublesome.
はい
It is.
ちな
What
み
do you
にどう
think?
安水集落におい
Early summer mists here in Yamazu happen only every
て
decade
10
or
年や
two.
20年に一度ある
Decade or two.
時期的に見れば
Well, it wouldn't be impossible for them to appear now, but I don't think I saw signs of it happening
目立っ
anytime
た証拠
soon.
が
そうか
Let's see.
ちなみに
By the
何
way,
か危ないん
that's
です
so dangerous about. What's so
皆
dangerous
さん
about
ちょっと
it?
緊
Everyone
張してる
seems
みたい
to
で
be so tense.
濃霧が出ると
When the mist
必ず
comes to
休みで死人
Yamazu,
が出る
everyone always dies. What? Wow. Was that an okay thing to say?
ああいや
Oh,
誤解せんで
don't
も
misunderstand. The
この
mists
濃
you
霧という
get
のは君の
here
想像
are
するよりも
far
は
more
るかに
dense than any you
視界
know
はゼロ
here.
になると
I hear they make you as good as blind. I knew that, but yeah, I couldn't have imagined this that dense unless I saw them myself.
よって霧が出ている間は禁止
That's
する
why the
習い
people
事
here were taught to stay indoors whenever that happened. But you have fools who still go outside and fall to their deaths or something.
なるほど
Oh, I see.
ここから少し離れた崩落事故現場は見たかね
Did you see the destroyed
あれは
construction
うちの
site?
家が請け負った工事なん
Not
だ
far from here.
あれ
That
も
was a
霧のせい
project
で
run
死
by my
人が出
family.
た
But it ended when the mist led to an on-site death.
まったくとっとと引き
Seriously,
上げさせれば
they
よ
could
い
have pulled out sooner.
発注者の言い分
But
は
the
いかにも合理
overseer was too strict. I felt stupid over considering crazy theories about some Saranaga illness. The mist was dangerous in and of itself, and that made for a good official reason to stay indoors when it came. He seemed to believe the official reason and thought it wouldn't kill him. If he actually knew about the true dangers lurking in the mist, he'd do everything he could to leave Yamazu. You know, he's the only person, the only body we did not see when he's the only person we didn't see when the mist came. He's the only dead body that died away and nobody checked to see if he was actually dead. So could he have more to do with it? Because he doesn't seem worried about the mists at all. The only person he does seem interested in is Rikaku, and I don't know if that's because of a crush or not. You know what I'm saying? He was from a head family, but he didn't seem to know all the secrets. She, on the other hand, must have known something. I'd love to find out more about... Hold on. He just told me something weird. The mist led to an on-site deaths?
上の土砂崩れの現場見たか
Did
あ
you
りゃ
see the
8年前に
aftermath
野
of
里
the
が手入れた
landslide
ら崩れ
uphill?
てそのまんまになっ
It's
て
been
る
like that ever since. The Nasato got to work on the place 8 years ago, and it collapsed.
気味悪がって片付けもしやがら
They
ね
were too freaked out to
作業
even
員の
clean
死体
it
は
up.
俺が掘
I
り出
ended
して
up
埋め
digging
た
out the worker's corpse and burying him. I was told that Takami's son buried the bodies. But if it happened in the mist during a feast of Yamazu Purge, didn't that mean he should have been present during the feast? Wait a minute. Yeah. If it's every decade, that would make him like, what, 50? From what I could tell, last time the mist occurred, the mist scared the people here and drove them to panic. Kanzo Makashimashi hadn't reacted like that, while the old wolf guy had said that the wolves here were coming. It was likely they'd experienced the feast before. But I didn't know what had happened to the other people, or what I'd even do with that information. One thing I could say was that the survivors either killed or silently approved of killing people. Jimmy could be one of them. And so could the students. even if I couldn't connect all the dots, it was entirely possible. I had to keep myself together. I had many things to think about later, but for now, I had a goal to complete. And yet the people at the main house,
そうだ、野里さん。
say Nasato-san,
あの工事
you
現
said
場は
that the
野里さんの
construction
辞書なのですか？
site is yours, right?
そうだが
Right, what of it?
あのプレハブ
Is
使え
that
たりしないです
prefab
ね。
usable?
使う
For what?
困ってる外の方を
I just thought
車で
that
止め
it'd
る
be
よ
a
り
better
はまだ
place
いい
for
んじ
the
ゃない
troubled
かと。
outsiders to stay at. After thinking for a moment, Kinosuke Shi returned inside. I expected him to say something like, "Why would I? A village head sullying my hands with Yamazu's problems," or something, so this came as a surprise. Kinosuke Shi came back shortly.
おそらくこれだろう
This should be it. The previous head of the family brought it here after the incident, and just as I expected, it was the key box.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
待ちたまえ
Wait,
貸すとは言っ
I
てな
didn't
い
say I'd give it to you. In fact, why would a village head, sully my hands with Yamazu's problems? And there it was.
それはそうですね。
You have a point.
申し
I'm
訳ありません。
sorry.
冗談だ
I'm
よ
joking. I didn't say I wouldn't give it either. Whew, what a pain in the ass.
君は室や
Unlike
生徒と
Moro
違
or
って
Sirizawa,
長者に対する
you
礼
seem
儀
to
という
know
もの
how
を
to
わきまえ
behave
てい
around
る
the
ようだ
heads.
そんな相手ならば
Yamazu's inhabitants or not, I value such people. We village heads are responsible for maintaining order in Fujishi.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much. So he believed in the concept of nobleness oblige. Shame he didn't have the ability for it. First, I had to check if the place was even usable. The equipment and the materials were all gone. The only thing of note here was a sink on the wall. The flooring was cold and a bit sandy, but with a bit of cleaning and a futon, it could be a decent living space. There was no running water, but if we placed a water bucket here, whoever was living here could easily wash themselves. I do not have these keys. 3 and 20? What's key 3? Seems like something I should have at this point, though, right? Okay, I guess we gotta return to the hall. I now had one empty living space. Getting the other, the dorm room, was even harder. I didn't even think I could force it at this stage. However, it was still a better option than just wandering around looking for alternatives that might not even exist. This would be a real waste of time if I didn't end up saving them. I wasn't about to stop trying, though. It was still just a bit afternoon. Honestly, I was a bit hungry. But there was a strange, powerful reek coming from the dining hall. I had no idea what could have caused this. Was it a toilet? No. It was more along the lines of rot. Animal rot. At that. Did someone already die? My memories made me forget the situation was still peaceful, and I dashed. Suddenly, a dense wall rose up before me.
Nanja.
What? I was pushed away. He's got them panties on his head. Huh. I spaced out for a moment. But then I realized I'd bumped into a local hunter. Kanzo Makashimashi. You're the one, This was the first time I'd seen him hold his gun in his hands. But I was even more troubled by his face. I was pretty sure I'd seen old lady Tay wear something similar the first time. All that happened later made me forget about it, but man, was it weird.
すみません。
Sorry,
変
there,
な匂いがし
there
て
was a weird smell,
大丈夫
so I
か
was
なって
wondering
思っ
if
て。
if everything was okay.
獅子なれよ。
It's Shishinori.
え
Huh?
獅子なれをに
That's
と
Shishinori Boland.
記者に食わす
Feeding the
言うて
journalists. Oh yeah, Sako-san was here to eat something strange.
気ぃつけろ。
Be careful,
いいじゃん。
boy.
はい。
Alright,
よろしけれ
may
ばお
I
名
have
前
your
を。
name?
牧島。
Makishima. And he left. The bundle he had in his left hand told me he'd only been here to get his lunch. He was as tough as I remembered. That chest made it hard to believe that how old he was. What a hunk of a man. Jesus Christ, dude, get off of him. That thought made me seem like some love-struck teen girl. Anyway, that cleared things up. The smell was caused by cooking. I gathered my resolve and went inside. Are you sure?
あら、どこに行ってらしたの？
Where
早
were you?
速手伝いが
I
あっ
had
たの
things for you
に。
to do. Carrie-san glared at me. Excuse me. Carrie-san glared at me a bit. Crap, I have to make it up for the points I lost.
あ
I'm
すみませ
sorry.
ん。
I had
ちょっと
business
野
with
里さんに用
Sato-san.
があっ
よう入り
Business
口から
with
何か
him?
ことづけです
Did Agachi tell you to give him a message?
いえ、
No.
Mamiya-san,
Mimiya-san,
Hashimoto-san.
Hashimoto-san.
ちょっと。
Can I have a moment? Beside the one in charge here and the sleepyhead, you also had the journalists who were busy taking photos and jotting down notes. I was impressed by their professionalism, being able to get back to work right after the problem was solved, although it actually wasn't.
お仕事中すみません。
Sorry to
実は
bother you
野里さんが
while you were
夜を越
working.
すなら車
Masato-san
は良く
said
ないと
that it's not
プレハブ
good
の
to
鍵
spend
を
the
くれ
night
ま
in
し
the
て。
van and gave me the key to the prefab.
あら、
Huh.
ポン
What?
野里さんがそんなことを
I mean, Masato-san said that? Well, it was nice to find out how she usually called him.
どうもあと一部屋くらいはあるみたいだ
Apparently,
し、
there's
そ
one
ちら
more
もなんと
room.
か開けていただいて、
There's one more
屋根の
too.
下で
There's
休ま
one
れ
more
るが
room
よろしいか
too.
と。
So why don't you ask if they can open that so you can spend the night under a roof?
うーん。
I appreciate the
ご好意はありがた
sentiment,
くいた
but
だ
I
くけ
don't
ど、
want to force
無理
anyone
に
to
行って
give me
ま
a
で部
room.
屋をもらおうとかは思わ
Of
ないわ
course
よ
she。didn't. That was the normal thing to think.
香織さんやっぱ寮の部屋開けた方がいいですって
We really should
野里さん
open
に
the
負けたら
door.
休みずの
Losing to
恥ですよ
Sato-san would bring shame to Yasumizu.
うん。それは何とも
I
言え
won't
な
say
いけど、
anything about that,
た
but
だそうね。
yes, even if
別に
there
変
aren't
な
any
人は
bad
いない
people
けど、
here, I don't
若い
feel
女
good
性が
about letting a
車
young
で
lady
って
sleep
い
in
う
a
のも。
car.
香織さん、お
Kaori-san,
弁当もらえるかしら
can。we have lunch? And the most important person around joined the scene.
なんね。
What?
野里さんが
Sato-san.
鍵をくれたんです。
Sato-san gave me a
ですけど
key.
も、
It's for the
これ
prefab,
で
but still.
一人は屋根の下で休めそうです。
Oh, now one of them can rest with a roof over their heads.
あら、
Oh, that's.
それは。
I was explicit about it, but she instantly understood what I was getting at.
だけどね、あそこ
But
は
that place is.
私は大丈夫ですよ
I don't
お隣
mind
がで
having
き
a
て
new
も
neighbor.
ちなみに、寮
By the way, what kind
そ
of
こっ
place is
て
the
どう
dorm
いう建
anyway?
物なんです？
あそこはね、
That is a
いずれ
place
休
for
水を去
the
る子
children
供た
who
ち
will
のため
soon
の場
leave
所なんですよ。
Yasumizu.
休水に住むということ
To
は、
live in Yasumizu
一
means
生
to be
休水
a
のもの
part of
になるっ
Yasumizu.
てこと。
Yasumizu, God.
だけど、
For the rest
子
of
供
your
たちは
life,
そう
but
とは限ら
that
ないか
doesn't
ら。
apply to the children.
だから、あ
That
そこ
makes
だ
it
け
the only special
休
place
水では
here.
特別な
And the
場所な
people
の
of。Kamafujushi silently agree.
上藤吉の人も
Oh.
そのことは暗黙のうちに
So
認め
this
てい
was
るわ。
just another way of Kamafujushi exerted power over the Yasumizu. I could understand why they didn't want to mess with it. But I knew from experience that it wasn't an immeasurable obstacle. They'd open it up for an emergency, but tomorrow would be too late. And I didn't really have a good way to convince them that this was indeed an emergency.
大丈夫ですよ。これでも車で寝るの慣れてますし。
It's fine. I'm used to sleeping in a car. You know, it would have been really interesting if they would have let me have an option to let them just die. Now, I know what you're saying. Like, why would you want them to just die? I'm not saying that I want them to die. I'm saying that it would be an interesting option to let them die again.
プレハブは橋本さんが使ってください。一人ならあの車で十分ですし。
You can make use of the prefab, Hashimoto-san. That car is more than enough for just me. Not to mention, you're the one doing all the driving.
逆の方が良くないかしら。
Should it be the other way around?
いやでもプレハブって上のでしょ。
We're talking about the prefab uphill, aren't we? I'm not sure I want to let a woman sleep there. As we pondered.
すみません。
Excuse me. Hashimoto-san actually spoke up and walked up to Tae-san.
なんでしょうか、ね。
Can I help you?
もしまともな部屋をお持
If
ち
you
で
have
あ
a
れば、
proper room, could you please open it up for her?
こんな仕事をやっ
She
て
is
ますが、
a tough lady who can
Ah,
handle
baby
work in
mine.
the field,
Yes.
but she is still
同行
unmarried.
者として
As
あ
a
まり無理
partner,
はさ
I
せた
don't
くあ
want
り
her
ま
to
せ
do
ん。
anything she shouldn't have to.
できる限りのお
I
礼
will
は
thank
い
you
た
in
しま
whatever
す。
way I can. So, please.
一つ
He bowed. His large body bent in two, but Tae-san still had to look up at him.
そ
I understand, but
う。だけど。
Tae-san was on the verge of giving in.
おい、不妻子今頃
Hey,
戻ってきやがったか
Hisashi. So you came back, huh?
にほっつき歩いて
Why were you out
お
there
じさんを
when
手伝わ
Kaori
ねえ
was
とはいい
making food?
度胸だ
You got some nerve leaving.
おお、匠兄ちゃん。
Oh,
いいところ
Takamine-chan.
へ。
Perfect timing.
なんだ
Perfect timing, indeed. He was the best person to convince Tae-san. And in the end, she agreed. The word unmarried meant a lot to her, apparently. She seemed to become more considerate of Mamiya-san after that. One of the reasons for the victory was the pleasure emitted by Hashimoto-san's massive presence, and the other was the fact that presented a reason that resonated with her. And then Takumi-san joined the scene and gave her the final push. This wasn't exclusive to Yasumizu, but finding a compromise in community without common interest was really difficult. It was especially hard when you couldn't give proper reasons for your words. They'd start to suspect I was a slacker, but I said that I was called by Nasato-san, and though it surprised them, they believed me. As a result, I had to make up a story about how he was shy, but actually considerate of everyone, which was why he called me. After all, I couldn't let them think I decided this by myself. Aren't they going to ask him these questions later? After we got the key from Tae-san, the two journalists and I left the dining hall to prepare our living spaces. The dorm room was clean to begin with. There was gas, water, and a futon, exactly like I remembered it. The house I'd been staying at was clean too. All I had to do was get a futon from the dining hall and fill the pail with water. The prefab, though, took a while to clean. Takumi-san brought the cleaner pieces, a tatami from the abandoned shacks, here, which made it a relatively livable space.
まあ、せっかく一晩越すんだし、ここの日常生活
If
も
we're
体
staying
験
here,
しと
we
きま
might
しょ
as
う。
well experience the
記事に
local
できない
daily
のが
life.
残念だわ。
Shame I won't be able to make an article out of it. They seem to be satisfied with that reason.
今後はもうちょっと
I hope we can
安
work
全
in
な
a
場
safer
所で
place
仕
next
事がで
time.
きる。
すみません。
Sorry,
私の依頼
most of my
こんなん
gigs
ばっ
are
かで
like this, aren't they?
こっちはいいんだ。
Oh, but
保
this is
険
better
も
for
ある
me.
し
I have
安全性
insurance,
だっ
and
て
it's far
運
safer
送
than
地
a
帯よ
war.
りはマシ。
You've been in such places? He did more leg work than his looks. Well, actually, I could kind of believe that. He kind of looks like a guy. I don't see how fast he would have moved. He's pretty big. He'd have been in such places. He did more leg work than he looks than his looks would have had you believe.
でも
But
ちゃんは女性
you're a
でしょ
woman, Q-chan.
だからそれはいい子なし
I
です
keep
って
telling you not to
働
mention
いている
that.
間は性
There
別
are
なん
no
て関係
genders
ないで
while
し
we're
ょ
working.
危険地帯で
Sadly,
のダメージリスク
dangerous
は
places are
女
riskier
性の方が
for
高いん
than
だよ
men.
しょうがないじゃない
Well,
です
you
か
know, I can't get any better jobs or a man.
難しいね
It's rough, huh? Their relationship was just that of good business partners. Mamiya-san was a passionate journalist, while Hashimoto was a senior who was worried about her and helped her out. There was a decent balance here.
意外ですね。間宮さんお綺
That's
麗なのに
expected.
絶対モテそうです
You're
けど。
looking good. You're good looking. So I figure you'd be more popular.
褒めても何も出ないわよ
Flattery won't get you anywhere.
いえいえ。僕がこんな
Oh,
底辺野
believe
郎じ
me,
ゃなき
I
ゃ
was less
迷いなくアタッ
pathetic.
クしてます
I
よ。
have gone for you without hesitation.
光栄だわ
Oh, what an honor. How old are you, by the way?
24です。
24.
私
And I'm
今
about
年で
to
みそ
enter
じ
my
突入だからね
30s. I'd feel
さ
really
すがに
bad.
申し訳ないわ
Oh, come on. Unmarried 30-year-olds weren't rare in this day and age. Though I prefer women who were a bit more bothersome.
このたらいは何だい
What was this tub?
あ、
Oh, it's
体を
to
拭く
clean
水
your
を溜め
body.
てあります。
一日くらい
But
いい
we'll
よ
only be here for a day.
なんかそういう風
I
習らしい
was
ですよ。
told it's a custom here.
ふーん
ちょっと詳しく
Can
聞かせ
you
てく
tell
れ
me
る
more? Tell us more. All right. All right. This was a good chance to share info with them. Presenting it as info I heard from Amatsu-san and Kinosuke-shi, I told them about what had to be done when the mist came. I couldn't sound too knowledgeable, though, since I was a newbie here, but was able to imply that there was a supernatural danger involved. Mamiya-san was extremely intrigued and quickly asked for extra info like the stuff about the four-head families. I did my best to mention only what I found out this time around, but I couldn't help worrying that I would say too much.
興味深いわね
Interesting.
思いっきり
That's so
浸透的な発想だけ
Shinto-like,
ど
I wonder
ど
how
う
it
い
was
う由来
passed
で
on.
使っ変化した鳥
Strange Tory families with guardians to their names, accustomed to cleanse only when the mist came.
マロードの反対はしないみたいだけど
They
不
don't seem too hospitable to guests, though.
思議だわ
What
こんな
a
偏僻
mystery.
な農村にな
How
ぜ
does such
こんな
unique
特異な
customs
風習が
survive in
残ったのか
such
し
a
ら
remote farming
昔はもっ
village?
と
Was
特
it
殊な
even
集
more
落だったの
peculiar back in the day?
やっぱりそっ
It
ち
really
の方が
does
向い
look
てそう
like
だ
this
ね
is your calling,
Kyo-chan.
Kyo-chan.
あったこれ
Oh,
は失礼
apologies. Anyway, we had places to sleep and
know
know what to do if the mist come. Let's go back to work.
キューちゃんが寮の部屋
You're
でいいよ
satisfied
ね
with the dorm,
それで
right?
僕が
Then I'll use this place.
あ、
Huh.
よかったら下の
If
小屋は
you
橋本さん
want,
使
you
われ
can
ません
use the
か？
cabin down hill.
こっちは
It's a
手狭です
prefab.
し。
It's pretty cramped.
大丈夫大丈
Don't
夫
worry.
どこで
I
も
can sleep
寝られるか
anywhere.
ら
Hey, you're going to
そ
live
れに
here,
君は
aren't
これ
you?
から住む
You
ん
should
だ
get
ろ
used to your new home as
早
quickly
い
as
ところ
possible.
家に馴染んだ方が
He had
い
a
い
point. Also, I'd borrowed the place from Matsu-san. I didn't have the right to outlet. It's just, I don't know what that means. Outlet, just anyone. I guess it's all right. I'll let anyone. I guess it's a way of saying, let anyone stay here. I feel that someone is going to get fucked up because they're asking for a lot of keys now. So I guess I'm just going to have to agree with Hashimoto. But I think the thing is that because he is a visitor, he can't just stay anywhere. He has to be in an actual house. So let's go ahead and just agree.
わかりました。余計なことをすみません。
Sorry about that.
いや こちらこそありがとう。
Don't be. We
いろ
should
い
be
ろ動い
thanking
て
you.
くれたん
You
でし
did a
ょ。
lot for us, didn't you?
野里さんだっけ。
That Nasato
気を
person
回しそうな
didn't
方に
seem
は見
like
えなか
the
ったか
considerate
ら。
type, so I can only guess that you
君
got
が
him
取
to
り出
help.
して。
いやいや、そんなこと
Oh,
ないですよ。
you're giving me too much credit, man.
この子は結構
This girl
無理しがちだから
tends to
ね。
push herself too hard.
僕が
Thank you
至
for
らない
caring for
分
her where I could.
助かる。
もう
Hey,
たかが一
you're
回り
only
上
a
なくら
dozen
いで
years older
父
than
親み
me.
たいになんないで
Don't
くだ
act
さい
like
よ。
that, like my dad. There was something about him that bothered me. Anyway, what? No. Anyway, what? With that done, I figured I'd spend my remaining time trying to rub elbows with the rest of the Yasumizu. Though I already had a job here, I had to make up for not helping out at the dining hall before noon. But
とりあえず
you can
お仕
work.
事の前
on an
に
empty
腹ごしらえをしてもらいましょう。
Carrie-san gave me a bowl. For some reason, she smiled, seemed a bit warped. It probably wasn't on purpose, though. It was just the effect of the smell. No, the miasma coming from the food she gave me. It was just that powerful. Whoa! So you can smell the rot now? Ooh, you can smell the rot now.
何か
Are you
怒ってま
upset
す？
about something?
え
Huh?
いいえ。
No, why would you think
どうして？
that? I couldn't feel any anger in her voice or expression, but being new here, I couldn't understand the mentality of someone trying to present something like this as food. As I twitched in fear that was punishment for slacking off, Carrie-san suddenly gave me a full smile.
あ、この匂いね。
It's the smell,
シシ
isn't
ナ
it?
レというの。
This is
獅子を保
shishinari.
存するための
It's like
昔からの
this
知
because of a
恵。
traditional technique to keep game meat fresh.
な
Uh,
るほど。
I see. So this was the infamous dish made of fermented game meat. Oh, it's fermented. Ew. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. For those of you who don't know what fermented is, it's like when mold starts to grow on food. The nar part of the name had to refer to the long fermentation, just like in Narazushi, for fermented sushi. Ugh. And no clue how they gave it such a strong smell now. Did they use the same marinade? Did they use the same marinade for decades, like with the salt they used for the sun-dried mackerel? That's how do you? I don't even
大
want to know.
昔はそのまま食べてたみたいだけど、
They used to eat it raw before, but they eventually
今は
found
こう
out
して煮
it's
込んだり、
dangerous, and now we
鍋や
boil
汁
it
の
or
煮に
use
してい
it
るの。
in stews or soups.
本来
It used to
安
be
水
a
のお祝い料理
celebrated
なんで
dish
すよ。
here. This is what's left
記者さ
from
ん
what
た
I
ちにお
made
出
for
し
the
した分のお
journalists.
裾分け。
Please consider it my way of welcoming you.
私から歓迎の印。
Okay, I had to still myself. I actually had a soft spot for strange delicacies. I try sun-dried mackerel and any other weird foods I could get my hands on. No way could I refuse this. You're not supposed to eat.
私小さい頃からずっと安水のものを食べてきた。
I've been eating Yasumizu food since I was a little girl. You can't eat the food, buddy. Would eating this turn me into a zombie or something? No. I would prove that idea wrong.
いただきます。
Thank you. Oh God. I picked up the bowl and the chopsticks. Brown rice covered in a ton of crumbled bits of meat. The soup stocks seem as light as what they used in kamfujushi, but I didn't know what to think of the meat's color. What was up with this greasy, shiny green surface? The reek attacked my nose once again. Damn it. I couldn't back out now. Gathering my resolve, I quickly put some stock, rice, and meat into my mouth. Oh. What? Was it good? I really couldn't tell. I had absolutely no idea what I was eating here. The texture, the sensation on the tongue, everything was new to me. The taste was extremely acidic, salty, and rich in animal protein. But what was this weird smell smothered most of it, forcing me to continuously convince myself that I was eating something good. I felt like my body would reject it all if I didn't. Holding the aversion at bay, I somehow swallowed it. The aftertaste was better than I expected, but as the reek faded, it made way for a strange beastly smell. Yeah, in a way, this taste was an exciting form of entertainment by itself. Hell no.
あら、いい食べっぷり。
You're such a good eater.
慣れればいけそうで
I
す
could get
ね。
used to this.
ええ、わかる
Yes,
わ。
I understand what you mean.
私も
I
休み
didn't know
に
what to
来て
think of it when
最
I
初は
first
どう
came
かと
here,
思ったけど
but now I sometimes
今
even
は
crave
時
it.
々無性に食べたくなるの。
I wasn't lying. It really did seem like a taste I could get used to. It was hard, honestly, to call it good, but at least it did feel nutritious. As reciting a prayer, I repeatedly tried to convince myself of that as I emptied the bowl I was given. Oof.
ごちそうさまでした。
Thank you for the meal.
お粗末様でし
You're
た。
welcome. So I finally eaten something from Yazamizu. Does that mean I was the true local now? Or Yamabitu? Whatever, as long as I could go back to square one, I would explore all the options I had available. Rhythmic cutting sounds were reaching my ears. As Kaori-san began preparing food in the kitchen, I did the work assigned to me. I had to repair the numerous cracked and broken dishes they had there. Apparently, they couldn't afford anything new, so they opted to take what was thrown out in Kamafujushi and repair it into something usable. Was there no end to how pitiful things were here? Man, seriously, like, they really treat these guys like garbage. I mean, like, they're literally recycling garbage from the bigger towns. That is just kind of crazy, actually. The broken plates and cups were all wrapped in old newspaper, and all I had to do was unwrap them and put them back together. It was actually kind of fun. Sort of like a jigsaw puzzle, but man, there were a lot of them. I'd have to do this for entire boxes full of broken tableware. I did wonder whether they actually needed so much, but apparently they just barely had enough, so they wanted to have some spares. I used some all-purpose glue from a 100-yen shop. They brought it from a nearby town. Kaori-san laughed about it, saying, "We get far more value out of this than a 100-yen bowl." Oh, I guess, yeah, that's true. And I just about cried. It was a strange mix of modern fragility and poverty of ancient times, and it exemplified just how weird Yazamizu really was. Is that crust? It's pretty slick looking. As I worked, I realized that many of the plates and cups had a familiar symbol on them.
これはどういうマークなんです？
What kind of mark is this? I asked Kaori-san over the counter.
あ
Oh,
あ、
that's
そ
the
れは
crest of the
水場
watering
のお
hole
家のも
family.
んよ。
The Higuchi. I was about to mention the name, but then I realized that Kaori-san probably didn't have good memories of them. I heard that examining these crates helped understand the lineages and the like, but I had no knowledge necessary for this.
他の長者にも家紋があるのです
Do
か？
the other head families have crests too?
ええ、私
Yes,
は野里
I
の
like
が
the
好き
Nosato
よ。
one.
可愛く
It's
て。
cute. Cute? From what I recall, the Nosato family was the crow. Did it have a bird on it or something? Amatsu was the spider, Nasato was the crow, Higuchi was the monkey, and Maguruma was the snake. Yeah, I'm saying that. Maguruma. Yeah. They worshipped a mountain and these guardians. It was significant, not only for Jushi's culture, but the feast of Yazumi Purge as well. If many served, Chimi had told me last time that whether you had a guardian or not was relied by a mark of blood on your skin. Waking up to find blood on your body was something straight out of a horror movie. Didn't the wolves and the Haru-chan say it was done through dreams? Maybe it's a dream of like bleeding or something, or blood on them. It's possible. If that were true, I'd be at a loss. It'd be an actual supernatural phenomenon. Still, where wolves and humans inform differently. This was something I'd have to look into starting tomorrow.
他の家紋ってどこかにありま
Where
す
can I see the other crest?
野里屋敷なら野里のはあると思うけど他のは
You can probably find the Nasato in the Nasato mansion, but the others, the accessory on Atamatsu's chest is based on her crest. Yeah, the spiral, right? That thing, I had thought of it. It was kind of weird looking.
今度探してみます。
I'll
知
try
らずに
looking
粗末
for
に扱う
them.
と
I wouldn't
大
want
変
to
なことになり
disrespect
そ
them
う
out
だ。
of ignorance.
それはそうかも
You
しれ
might
な
be
いわ
right.
ね
I'll tell you if I
何か
find
見つけ
something.
たら
ええ、どう
Please
も。
do. I continue working as we talked. There was a small ancient TV here. Apparently you could get public broadcasting here, but not much else. That was probably enough for everyone to gather here and have dinner while watching something. I was told that all the dorm rooms had TVs too. There had to be another way they pampered the children who'd eventually leave this place. It strangely demonstrated how much of an exemption the dorm was for Yasumizu.
うちの長男が
My
今
eldest
飲んで
lives in the dorm
昨日のド
and
ラマ
always
がど
tells
う
me
だ
what
った
happened
と
in
か
yesterday's
教えてく
shows.
れるんですよ
We can only turn
こ
this
こ
on
じゃ
at
夜
night.
しかつけないから
Why? Normally, giving TVs to younger generations would be a sign of luxury, but it was the other way around here. The children went in the school of Kamafujushi, but they never went anywhere beyond that, and just went straight home, and Kamafujushi was secluded to begin with. That was why they prioritized giving TVs to children, to let them know what was happening outside the village, and to help them learn modern Japanese culture. Apparently, they also covered their electricity and gas bills. They had to be frugal, but they didn't mind supporting children's access to TV. Chemini was the first Yamazumizu child to make it to college, and Yasunaga-kun was expected to follow her footsteps. Basically, they thought if they supported the young ones and helped them become permanent figures in society, the money they'd send back would make life easier for those who stayed here.
長男
I honestly hope
安永には
Yasunaga
こん
is
な
able
場
to
所
live
に縛られ
freely,
ず自由に
unhindered
活
by
躍
his
してほ
roots
し
here.
いご覧の通り
As you can see,
次男は
my
不出
second
来なの
son
で
has some
目
flaws,
の届くところ
so
に
I
置
have to
かな
keep
きゃ
him close. But my
で
eldest
も
is,
長男は
if you don't mind me
手前
bragging,
味噌だ
simply
けど
excellent.
優秀死んだ夫
My
も
late husband
頭が
was
良かったわ
clever, but
でも
had an
気
intense
性も
nature.
激しい人だっ
And it
た
seems like those two
頭と
qualities
気性
were split between my
息
sons.
子はそれ申し訳
I
な
do
いと
feel
思って
guilty
る
that I
のだけ
couldn't
ど
give
ね
birth to two clever boys.
次男は難産で
Birthing the second was
私
so
もあの子
difficult.
も死にかけたくらいだったから
Us
その
almost
時に
died.
かけすぎた苦労が
And both of
あ
us
の
almost
子を
died.
ああしたのかしら
Did he come out like that because I tried so hard at the time? Kara's son was pretty talkative about this. I knew I was a stranger and she had to introduce Yasumizu to me, but this was a bit too much, if you ask me. That was probably a sign of just how helpless she felt right now. Maybe Takumi-san should just propose to her and lighten the Orbe's burden. Marrying a widow with sons in middle to high school is difficult, and I could only assume that was his main issue. Feeling a bit conflicted, I glanced at the cheap alarm clock on the TV. It was 3 p.m. Any minute now.
ただいま。あれ
We're back, huh?
見知らぬやつ。
I don't know this guy. There the high schoolers were back.
おかえりあなたた
Welcome
ち。
back. This is
こちら
Fusashi.
急遽
He
休み
suddenly
ずに
moved
移
here
り住む
to
ことになっ
Yasumizu.
た。
よろしくね。
Let's get along.
珍しいですね。
How is
織部安永です。
this? Now this is unexpected. I'm Yasunaga Orbe.
ここの息子さんだよね。
Gary's son.
話は金がね。
Right. She told me about you.
母さん何言ったのさ。
What? You did tell him. Exactly.
不詳の
Did you
息
tell him
子を
exactly?
よろしくって
Get along with my good for nothing son.
まったく。
Oh man.
Ah.
Oh, this is
こっちが鴨志田近持ちで。
Chimo-
こっちが
Chikamochi
牧島春です。
Kamoshida, and this is Haru Makashima.
モッチーだ。
Call me
ギブミ
Mochi.
命。
Give me your life. Really? Nope.
ねえモッチ
Hey,
ー。何あれ
Muchi.
イ
What's
ケメン
that?
ってや
Is
つ。
he one of those cool guys? He scares me.
多分やっすんの方がつらっと少年はいいよ。
Yasu probably has a better face and personality than him.
兄ちゃんなら勝てる？
Can he win against him?
勝てる勝てる。
Sure he can.
貴様に勝負を
I
申
challenge
し
you
込
to
む。
a duel.
え
What?
待てい。
Wait,
僕が相手だ。
I'm your opponent here.
よし。
Alright,
おしっこ
let's
我慢
go.
対決
Which
スター
one of
ト。
us can go longest without pissing?
貴様。
You
僕が絶賛
cur.
我慢中だと
You
見
know
通
I'm
していた
trying
と
my
でも言う
hardest to
の
hold
か。
it in.
実は僕もそろそろ限界だったんだ。
I'm at my limit too, actually.
先に漏らした方が勝ちにし
The
よ
one
う。
who pisses his pants first is the winner.
乗った。
Alright.
いや乗らない。
Wait. No, it isn't.
早く行きなさいよ二
Just
人。
go already.
あらら
Oh dear. We both had to forfeit.
房石さん、モッチーと気が合いますね。
Huh, you two sure get along.
シッコマンの絆だな。
The bond of pissmen.
そうだな。いや違う。
Yeah, wait, no.
改めて、こっちははるちゃんです。
Again, this is Haru-chan.
よろしくお願いします。
Nice to meet you.
よろしく。なかなか
Yeah,
独
you
創
have a
的なファッ
unique
ションだね。
fashion sense.
悪いですか？
Got a problem?
去年の暮れに梶原の100円ショ
I
ップで
get it
揃
all
え
at a
た。
100 yen shop in Kuchihara at the end of last year. That was just sad. It was something I'd expect from an elementary schooler.
いや、いいと思うよ。
No, it's good.
これから仲良
Again,
くやっ
let's
てい
get
こう。
along.
兄ちゃん。
Nichan, he's trying to flirt with me. I'm scared.
違うと思うな。
I really don't think he is. Man, Haru-chan was distrustful of me, even without the misunderstandings regarding Chimmy and I. Perhaps there really were people you just couldn't get along. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Perhaps there really were people you just couldn't get along with. How sad.
こんなに治ったんですね。
You fixed so many bowls and
本来
cups.
は僕らがやるよう
We
な
were
ことを。
supposed to do that. Sorry to trouble you with it.
いやいや、楽
That's
しかっ
fine.
たし。
I had fun.
それにまだたっ
There's
ぷり
still
残って
plenty
るしね。
left.
安永そんなこ
Yasunaga,
とはいいから
leave him be.
早く
Go
予
review
習
your
復習を
lessons.
やり
ああ、そうだ
Ah,
ね。
right.
Ryo
I'm
ni
going
modoru
to
yo.
the dorm then.
勝負はまただ。シッコマン。
Let's have a duel another time, piss man.
それじゃあ
Then I'll
失礼
be going now.
します。
The high schoolers left.
これでだいたい安水の全
Have you
員
met
に会われたのかし
anyone
ら
here in Yasumizu by this point?
そうですね。
I guess so. There was one exception though.
って、 すみません、生編成。
Sorry, that was a bit of a rude response. 1, 2, 3,
記者
journalists
さん入れて
included. I meant
14人とあったかな。
14.
一人、
1,
二人。
2, but
あら、
if we don't
久
include
石さんを入
you,
れない
there
な
should
ら
be
15
15.
人いるはずね。
Suddenly, as I rehearsed, the final person appeared.
ちょうどよかった。
Perfect timing.
久
This
石
is
さ
the
ん、
old man of
こちら
Yasunizu.
安水のおじいさんよ。
No one knew his name, did they?
こんにちは。
Hello. Like always, it was hard to tell whether he was listening or not.
今度こっちに住むことになりました。
I'll be
どうかよろしくお願い
leaving
します。
here. I'll be living here for now on. Pleasure to meet you. Coming. There it was. His shtick.
え、どうしました？
What? He beckoned me closer. I carefully brought my ear to his mouth. Sway back.
狼が
The wolf is coming.
と、
What?
びっく
You
りしたな。
surprised me. I evaded the potential damage to my eardrums. I had no idea what he was talking. I had no idea what he was thinking, but he was grinning.
no. あら、
Hungry.
ちょっと待ってくだ
Please
さい
wait, I'll
ね。
make you an origami.
今おにぎりでもしますから。
This might have actually been the first time I saw him properly communicate with someone. Once given the origami, he quickly munched it all up, leaving a big mess, and just staggered out. According to Kaori-san, he always been a part of the whole Nizamizu package. He seemed to have something wrong with his head, intended to cause trouble here. Always a part, huh? Would it be wrong to assume he'd experienced something that made him go insane? At the very least, his catchphrase about wolves coming gave me that impression. He experienced the feast once, and the fear made the boy who cried wolf become the old man who cried wolf. Perhaps he'd even seen that thing. I'd love to hear what he had to say, but that seemed difficult.
これで全員かしら。
Is that everyone?
みたいですね。
Seems so. I was glad to have heard so much from Kaori-san, but I would have liked to talk to the young ones more. Chimmy too. Was it possible for me to forge a proper relationship with her starting tomorrow? No! Rukaku!
18時まで休憩にしま
That's
しょう。
pressed until 6 p.m.
久石さんのお
With you
かげ
here,
で
everything was
すごく
taken care
早
of
く
so
片付いちゃ
quickly.
った。
You're a great help.
助かる。
いえいえ。
Oh, it was nothing. After helping with the dinner preparations, I was mostly done for the day, so I was free to take a breather. It was almost 5. I hadn't been keeping track of time on the previous loop, but the miss had to appear soon. Needless to say, I was slightly tense. Not having anything better to do, I went outside. I looked up at the sky. The evening sun bathed everything in red hue. This was probably the last time I'd see the mountain in the distance. No, this time I would survive until the mist cleared. Then I would look at this swift, the one dear to me, and leave this place for good. As I gathered my resolve.
嵐を見とけが生えり
I'm not gonna sing that like a little girl. Ate the donut bologna rice snows on the mountain. I suddenly heard an off-key singing voice. It completely deflated the tension of the scene. Oh. I could see Mako running through the plaza. She clearly noticed me. Amatsu-san was right behind her.
房焼さん
Fight! Sayaka-san! That wasn't my name.
春秋だよ。
I'm Haruki. Fasashi.
久石。
Son, you worked
お
hard
疲
on
れ様で
pursuing.
す。
まだまだ元
I'm
気ですよ
still。shining with energy.
頼もしいです。
How reliable.
夕飯前
I
に
am going to look
少
at the
し下
field
の原っ
downhill
ぱを見
before
に行こ
dinner
うか
time
と。
comes. Oh, just like last time, huh? I've been busy fixing my bike here, so I hadn't even noticed them go down.
下に原っぱがあるんですか？
There's a downhill?
はい。
Yes.
本当を言え
Though
ば
it is more of a
墓地なんですが。
graveyard.
お墓ですか？
Grave?
何
Is
が
there
あるんで
anything
す？
significant?
ああ、そういえば
Oh, that
植松さ
aside,
ん
your
の服装
clothes are
は
a bit
仏教の
Buddhist,
ものにちょっと似ていま
aren't
すね。
they? Are you giving
もしかして
a
供養
memorial
もされ
service
て
or
ると
something?
か？
はい。
Yes.
植
The
松は
Matsus
葬儀の家でも
were
ありまし
also
たから、
responsible for funeral rites.
葬式仏教も
Our faith might have some roots in Buddhism as a result of that duty. So Mamiya was right. Bedroom woman servants, was it? Perhaps they protected not only dreams, but also eternal sleep, the peace of the dead.
血筋が細くなって
Though, as
実
our
務が
blood
行え
become
なくな
less
った後
pure,
は
we become
身車
unable
様
to
に
fulfill these
お
duties,
任せしていますけれ
so
ど、
we left them to the Magaruma.
それでも
Despite
休みずに
that,
住むよ
after
うになっ
moving
てから
here
は
to Yazamizu,
その墓
you
の供
hold
養はしてい
services
る？
for the local graves, huh?
自分では
That is my
そのつも
intention,
りです。
yes. But this
ただ
time,
何です？
what?
ちょっと
I have
気に
become
な
a
って
bit worried. She looked toward the direction of Saranagas again. Perhaps she could feel the coming of the mist with her skin. I heard that sensitive people could sense incoming weather changes by differences in pressure and humidity alone.
何か起きるんです？
Will something happen?
いいえ、
No. I think it
気のせい
is
だと
probably merely my
思います。
imagination. Amatsu-san leaned on the pillar supporting the wall's roof. Apparently, she decided against going to the field. Realizing this, Mako started playing around.
子供は元気ですね。
Kids sure are a bundle of energy, huh?
はい。
Indeed. Everyone was afraid of her because she came through Saranaga,
みんな
but
怖
she
がってい
turned
ま
out
した
to
が、
be an energetic child.
明るい子でよかっ
Truly
たで
a
す。
relief.
どんな事情が
I wonder what
あったの
happened
で
to
しょう
her.
ね。
どこかの夢で
Perhaps she was doing
無
her
理心中か何かを
hardest to run away from
逃れ
forced
てきたのかも
suicide in the mountains.
しれませんね。
That seemed likely. Takumi-san had mentioned last time that lots of suicidal people gathered here.
しかし、
But
どうして上
why did... I was about to ask why she was the one to take care of her, but then I remembered something. She took in the corruption. Oh, so maybe that's what corrupted her. That was one of the roles she was expected to fulfill. It felt wrong to me, but I didn't know what I actually had a problem with. Mako's parents, the locals who treated her like filth, or perhaps the customs and superstitions that caused it.
くるりらひらひらひりらきりたあった。
9 one whole birthday cow to find. 10 the kissed mice sway again.
斬新な歌ですね。
That's a unique
上藤吉で
song.
も
I heard
放
it
送で
during
聞
a
いたな。
broadcast in Kamafujushi. And I actually heard it here at the last loop, but whatever.
我らを生かす
It's
この
an
山。
old song about the
信内山の
teachings of the
化身。
great Lord Shinai-sama,
信内
the
明神様
incarnation
の
of this mountain
教
that
えを
keeps
歌っ
us
た。
alive.
信内山のお守りはひかがちふましらみからすよくも
Shinai's guardians are 1 snake, 2 monkeys, 3 crow, 4 spider. She began singing out of nowhere.
夕霧立てば歌 影の支度いついつむちなもな
Wait a minute.
れもて走る
5. Prepare for the feast. Then the evening mists arrive. 6. They never mentioned a 6 before. 6. The badger runs along late with Nar as a fix. Am I the badger? Could that be what it is? Am I the badger? Because they were talking about like other animals the last time. Her clear voice vanished into the wind, passing this empty plaza. However, I could hear it very well.
怪しよみびとけがらえり
7. The corrupt Yamabito rise to oppose the mountain. The tone of this song suddenly changed.
怪しよみびと泣きにせん
8. The death of the damned Yamabito is the mandate. Her singing now brought out feelings of unease.
くくれやひとひにひとり
9. One soul per day now to bind.
切り立った
10. The mists rise away again. That's how she would have said it. An ice cold voice cut her off. I looked at the source and a chill went down my spine. It was Chimmy, covered in red of the evening, as well as the red of blood. Her whole body was covered in blood.
お疲れ様です
You were working hard, I see.
疲れました
Oh, I was.
芹沢さん
Serizawa-san,
それ
what happened?
ああこりゃ
Oh, sorry. I guess making such a dramatic entrance while looking like this is a bit scary, huh? She gave me a broad grin.
獅子の解体を
I believe
されてたの
she had to dismantle Wild Game.
当たりです
Yep, Kazo Ji-chan got a big one this morning.
筋やら骨やらごっ
The muscles, the bones on this thing were huge. Oh yeah, Takumi-san had told her to help Kanzo-san.
すごいですね
Wow,
芹沢さん
you know how to
解
butcher
体なん
wild
かで
game.
きるっ
まあ慣れです
It's
よ
easy when you get used to it.
ていうかその普段着
Your
が
clothes
血まみれでいいんです
are a
か
mess now. Though, you sure that's not a problem?
引っかぶる気はなかったんだけど
I didn't mean for this to happen. My hand slipped a bit.
まあ全く同じ着替え持ってきてるからいい
Well,
んです
I have another set of these clothes, so it ain't a problem. She laughed, and it made her look even scarier.
というかちえみでいいですよ
You can just call me
敬語とかも
Chimi,
いらないです
by the way. And drop the fancy talk, too.
今のリカコさん
Was that Kako-san?
いえ
No. It clearly was.
じゃあちえみちゃん
Alright, Chimi-chan.
僕のことも春秋
You
と呼
can
ん
call
で
me just a
話し方も
rookie.
タメ語で
Too.
結構
Talk to me like I'm a friend.
あ本当ですか
Oh, really?
じゃあ
Alright.
春秋さん
Haruki-san,
ご飯の時にでも
wanna get to know each other over some food?
おー
Oh.
ちなみにもしかして今晩は
By the
獅子
way,
肉のご商
are
売
we
に預か
getting
れる
some
の
of
かな
that game meat for dinner?
もちろん
Of
今日は
course.
ごちそうだ
Wait for some good eating.
やったぜ
Oh,
楽し
is
みです
that
ね
great?
上松さん
Matsu-san?
り
What?
りりりり りかこと
Please call me
お呼
Kako.
びください
There you go. That's my girl.
リカコさん
That girl drawers are having a crisis right now. Drawers are calling 911 right now. kind of response was that?
What
is it?
なんでしょう。春はあるはだ。
Aura?
春秋様。
She was about to call me by some weird name, but she somehow managed to actually get my real one out. Problem being that she called out to me, but didn't actually have anything to say. Oh boy. Oh, and what's your problem, Chiri-san? Haruki-san, wanna come watch me butcher game? You'll see me cut some meat with a huge hunting knife. Splosh, splosh. Oh, she did the splosh, splosh thing again. Well, that kind of invitation would have weirded out anyone normal, but me, I actually was intrigued.
春秋様。
はい
Yes.
あちらへ行きませんか。
Shall we go there?
どちらへ
Where?
墓場へ。
The graveyard. An invitation even freakier than the previous one. It felt like she'd take me straight to the land of the dead, though that was interesting in its own way. Huh? And what exactly are you gonna do there, Kaku-san?
芹沢様こそ。
What of you, Serizawa-sama? Are you
いくら休みずに
aware how
勤め
absurd it is to show him a
血は汚れに
feast
つ
of
ながる
blood?
んですよ。
Even if it is for Yamazu? Blood is linked to the corruption.
リカコさんこそ
Rikaku-san,
いいことはバッチ
you
リこと
do
です
know
よ
that lewdness is also dirty, right? Whatever are you
何が
imagining?
ご想像
Who's
され
not
てる
thinking
の。
of anything of the sort?
そんなこと言ってリカ
Really?
コさん結構
You
むっつり
seem
っ
like
ぽ
a
いから
real
な
closet pervert to me.
そんな。
Yes, yes, she does.
大丈夫男子はみんなエッチ
Don't
なお
worry.
姉さんが大好き
All men love lewd women. Oh, that face. She loves it. Bedroom servants, correct? There you go.
でも残念
Too bad
エロパワー
though.
でもちえみ
I
さんは
have
リ
even
カコ
more
さんを
lewd
超
power
えるか
than
ら
you.
そんな
What?
ずるい
No fair.
君
What the
ら
hell are you
何
two
言ってる
talking
んです
about?
か
さゆきさん、モテモテ。
Riki-san, are you popular?
なんだって
What?
ねえ、
Whatever.
一体
Whatever.
何
Do you?
あリカコさん脱
Oh.
落じゃあちえみもらっ
You're
た
out
の
of
か
the
な
race. Guess I'll have him then.
そんなうまい話が
You will. It's too good to be true.
割と好みですよ春秋さんがこっち住むなら里帰
You're
り
my
する
type.
楽しみができたか
If you're
な
gonna live here, then I guess I'll have something to look forward to when coming back home. So I had a chance of Shimmy in this route too, huh? No, Rikaku! Oh, then I shall have my chances while you are away. Yes!
それはまずい
What? Not happening. I love Rikaku-san too.
メイコちゃんかけっこしようぜ
Hey, Ko-chan. Let's have a race. I ran around with her like I was a kid. I was a kid her own age again. As much as I enjoyed them having a cat fight over me, I knew that we were almost out of time. The dense mist began flowing into the plaza.
嘘だろ
No way. My tone was a bit forced, but no one paid any heed. The mist is here. Jimmy's loud voice flung everyone into a frenzied panic.
ばあちゃんは家に入った
Ba-chan,
おやさんは
in the house. What about the old man?
年寄り扱いしてんじゃねえ
I ain't old. No, not the mists.
チーガキどもを連れて
Gee.
行け
Take the brats to the dorm.
春秋さん、
Yeah, Haruki-san.
案内は
I'll lead him.
私。
わかった頼みます
All right, please do. Haruki-san,
これが
this is Yasumizu's mist. Please do whatever she tells you, even if it sounds stupid.
あ
All right.
わかっ
これが噂の
Oh, so this is the mist. I guess we should count ourselves lucky. We got to see it.
機材に 悪そうだな。
It's probably bad for our equipment.
それどころ
This is serious. I'm so glad you have rooms. Please run to them immediately.
間宮さん
Mamiya-san,
カメラ
here with us. Cameraman, you.
俺が行く
I'll take him. The prefab, right? Come with me. And don't fall.
そんな焦らなくても。
No need to rush. I couldn't help but worry. Coming! Coming! Love is coming! At the edge of my fading vision, I saw the old man mutter that and walk off.
メイコ春明様
Meiko, Haruki-sama,
嫌な予感が
looks like it was not just my imagination.
霧が出たら家に閉
We
じこ
have
も
to
るんで
lock
したっ
up our
け？
houses now, right?
みそぎ物
Cleanse
に
shelter,
夢
dream.
枕
That is how
宴の支
how
度
you prepare for the feast. Please do not forget to do them.
体拭いて鍵かけて
Wash my body, lock the door, and sleep.
そう
Yes.
ご飯は
You will
明
not
日まで待
get
って
to
ね
eat until tomorrow, so please be patient.
うんわかった
Okay, got it.
掟を守れば
If they obey the
今日は誰も
laws, no one will die
死なない
today.
どういうことですか？
What do you mean?
今日は
Today, we
宴の支度
prepare for the feast. Those who do
明日
not
からの
are
宴に
punished
備
by
え
our great Lord
て支
Shinai.
度すもう
Please go.
行ってください
Rikaku-san took Miko in her hands and took a step back. That alone made her face less clear.
必ず
Please
支
prepare.
度をして明日
I wish
また
to see you again
会い
tomorrow.
たいから
必ず守ります。
I will. I shouted that right before her face vanished. She clearly liked me. Yes, because she's best girl. Rikaku is best girl. She's a freak. We like that. We need that. So much that she was almost crying. She probably assumed I wouldn't believe her and thought I'd be a pile of gore tomorrow. Not a chance. I knew how serious this was and understood the depths of their fear and despair. And on top of it all, I wanted to help them. I wanted to reassure them by making that all too clear. I made my way carefully downhill to my hut. Unlock, enter, lock. Oh man, I felt so much safer than last time. After all, I could actually lock up. Had a decently sized space that was protected from the mist and had a nice place to lie down. I'd made it this far. That alone was a strong sign that I was doing way better than before. I was about to say last time. I turned on the light. I actually had electricity here. Well, I'd had it in the dorm last time too. All that was really cut was the telephone wire to the dining hall. Weird to think that mist and severed phone wires were enough to create a close circle like this one. Even weirder that I actually came back here on my own volition. Well, I reached into the bag at the corner of the room and opened the yellow box of food. It was probably unfair to everyone else, but I needed the energy. I'd have a hell of a time tomorrow. After my half-assed excuse for dinner, I took the wet towel from the pile and washed my body. I then checked if the door was really locked. All that was left was to spread out on the futon and sleep. Could I, though? After all, I had so many things on my mind. First, the things I'd learned today. I found out I could change how things went down. This time, I somehow succeeded in becoming an inhabitant here and saved the journalists. I had no idea if I would make things better than last time, but it was clear things were different. That alone was big. Had to be. Also, I had a feeling there was at least one Yasumizu inhabitant who'd experienced a feast before. This wasn't that new, but now I felt like the elders weren't the only suspects. Takumi-san could have experienced one too. Tomorrow, I could probably ask if there was a miss before, and I could actually make it sound natural. The settlement's history was just as deserving as an investigation as its customs and superstitions. And Rikaku Umatsu. She might have actually been way weirder than I first thought. She fell often and went nuts when you just called her by her name. Despite her weirdness, though, there was a certain charm to her. She was kind of like a fancy-looking restaurant that, you were afraid to go into. But when you mustered up the courage, it turned out to be unexpectedly cheap. Damn! It's so simple, yet nice flavors making you really attached to it. Jesus Christ! You called the bitch cheap. I mean, she is kind of throwing it. I don't know. She is throwing it at you, though. But what other guys are in the village that, really, I don't know. She's a bit cheap. But, objectively speaking, it felt like she was actually attracted to me. But why? Did our first meeting leave that much of an impression? Not that I minded the attention, but this seemed a bit too good to be true. Whatever the case, I'd formed a bond that I certainly didn't expect last time. Assuming I solved the whole mystery, what would I do next? Following through on my lie and actually living here would upset too many parties. So that was a no, and if I left here someday, what would become of my relationships? Rikaku-san didn't look like she'd ever leave this place. What about Chimmy? Why was I counting my chickens before they hatched anyway? I did appreciate that Chimmy actually liked me this time too. It wasn't much help to her last loop, so I was kind of fixated on saving her on this one. But there was another way to look at this. That was a feeling born of trip through hell with her last time, standing by her until the end. But the chimney from back then wasn't the same as the chimney from this loop. Any feelings I had for the previous chimney had nothing to do with the one here. There was nothing more hollow than chasing after unrequited feelings, right? I had enough of thinking about that. It just made me feel empty inside. Time to review more important things, like the previous roles. Takumi Moro was the snake. Chakamuchi, Kamoshida, and Miko were the monkeys. Yasunaga Orbe and Tei Yamawaki were the wolves. Those were the only clear ones. Now for the rest. Since the spider was supposed to protect the snake, Takumi-san, who died on the second day, it was safe to assume it was someone who died on the first. That was either Kanzo Makishima or Yatsugu Orbe. And I was pretty sure it was the former. I had no guesses for the crow. How you have no guesses? Alright. No guesses for the crow. That guardian didn't really get a turn in the spotlight last time. There was only one standard lynching, after all. In fact, there were far more abnormal deaths. Though I had no idea if there were or were not carved by the crow's power to tell if the lynched victim was a wolf or not. If they were, then perhaps the crow was waiting for the chance to come out. But all who died were human, and eventually they were out of the game. Or maybe it was someone who couldn't make good use of their power at all. Assuming Kanzo was the spider, then I had 7 suspects for the crow. Shisugu, Haru Makishima, Chimi Shirazawa, Rikaku Umatsu, Kanosuke Nasato, Kaori Orbe, and the old wolf guy. First, Yatsuga. Honestly, I felt like he'd reveal himself as the owner of the Guardian way before Takumi-san. He was reckless and impulsive after all. Kinosuke Shi seemed like the type proudly to reveal that he had the crow. It was his family's guardian beast after all. Or maybe he was using it to gather information on his own, so he could pull a bunch of his own deductions all at once. No, he wasn't that stupid, surely. Also, he was given free rein until the wolves got to him on the final day. He had ample time to do something. Then Haru Makishima. She betrayed the humans and sided with the wolves, despite the fact it wouldn't save her life. Needless to say, that seemed insane. The great Lord Shinai came to her in a dream and told her the truth. What the hell? Who died for that? Was there some other way to create such madness, a method to create a murder? Was there anything besides what Yasunaga mentioned? I had no idea, but if there was, I really did think anyone with a guardian would fall victim to it. If Chimney was the crow, I would hope that she'd have confided in me about it. Kaori Oribe, I had no idea. She had been the only one killed the conventional way last time, but was never really given the chance to speak up. Even if she was, it's possible she'd chosen to keep silent and focus on killing everyone for her son, or she tried to become the shield for him. The old wolf guy made no sense at all. If he'd gotten a guardian, he'd likely have just gone to waste. Finally, Rikaku-san. I had no idea what to expect from her. She was the only descendant of the Amatsu's family and their current head, so perhaps she knew some secrets known only to the head families. However, from what I had observed of her today, it really did seem like she just had a bad feeling and came to check. I didn't know how intelligent she was either. She did seem to have good intuition, but she was also a bit of a klutz. There was also the fact she'd been eliminated from the previous game due to some kind of strange corruption. Maybe she didn't have a chance to reveal that she possessed a guardian. That meant that the most likely candidates for the crow were Rikaku-san, Kaori-san, and the old wolf guy. What was most important here, though, was if those were the guardians, if those with guardians would be the exact same as the last time. Yeah, it could change. If they were, I'd have this feast in the bag. If to use an extra example, I went and silently took out Yasunaga-kun and Tei-san, I'd probably fall victim to the corruption. But the human side would win. Of course, the participants were different this time, so it wasn't guaranteed that we'd get the same guardians. But if Great Lord Shenai was, or whatever picked them, had some sort of qualifications for this chosen, the addition of outsiders would change nothing. On the other hand, if our participation would change the guardian assignments, was it random, or was there some kind of pattern? Whatever it was, it would mean that there was no higher will intent on giving guardians to specific people. Whatever the case, it would help getting closer to the truth behind the feast. If I found out the rules behind the guardian distribution, I could probably win without trying to read people's minds. The only problem was my whole looping thing. Nobody would believe me if I told them. I couldn't blame them. If I went and said, this is how it is. No, this is how it was last time, so you're the wolf this time. Everyone would think I was nuts. I had to look at this as nothing but a source of extra info to use in my advantage. And of course, I couldn't sleep. that would happen to me. What would happen to me if I spent the whole night awake? Was someone watching me? Did they know I wasn't sleeping? Would they come to kill me? That line of thinking made me feel like I was being watched. What about the locals? They already had the mists and the feast to fear. Could they sleep soundly? I knew the old stories said they should be able to, but...
兄ちゃん春も
Nichan,
幸せにして
make me happy too. There was something wrong with the people of Yasumizu. They were normal in regular circumstances, no total idiots anywhere, and not all of them seemed like the sort who lose themselves in superstitious ramblings. However, certain situations seemed to act as a trigger, turning them completely irrational. The absolute extreme fear of this mist, the complete submission to the real story, the lack of aversion toward hanging people. Was that all part of the feast? If so, what kind of psychological system were at work here? I couldn't understand. Things I couldn't understand scared me. Was there a limit to the extent I could comprehend? What if it was just a huge, never-ending downward spiral of irregularities? If that was the case, it'd be pretty damn scary. What? Did I go to sleep? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I went to sleep. Oh. Right here. All right. And that's going to do it for me tonight. And the next time, we're going to start the feast. And we're going to find out if anybody died last night. So, with that being said, please, go ahead and if you're over at if you are at Twitch and DLive, please subscribe to me, and I'll see you in the next one. If you're on YouTube, do that thing I just said at the other two places, but like as well, and hit the notification bell to all. And to all you people out there that's going through hardships and things like that, please take care of yourselves and watch out for one another. We got to get through this together, and hopefully we will. To all my boys in blue out there, you guys are sentinels, upstanding citizens, and you took an oath. Remember, you have to abide by that, and don't be an oath breaker. I know there are people out there doing bad things, but that's not you, and do not follow those examples. While you're out there, please take care of yourselves and your partners, and when you're at home, take care of your family and friends. To all my veterans out there, you guys are fucking heroes, and I know we get caught up in our heads, and especially right now with all this craziness going on, you guys are fucking heroes. Like I said, it's okay to take a knee, but don't drop that pack, and do not lay the fuck down. You understand me? Whatever you need to do, get yourself out of the hole. You can dig yourself out. You just got to call in your friends, family, mother, father, sister, brother, battle buddy, whatever it takes. You can do it. You can make it. I know you can. You're a fucking hero. Remember that. And with that being said, as always, trying to sneeze first. Good luck. God bless. And remember to always stay legendary.